GMGP. It is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Y'all decided to wake y'all ass up with myself and my brother from another mother, Jordan Richards. You can find him at your boy Jay Rich on X. You can get at me at RayGQ. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Tuesday and Thursday. Jay Rich, 8 a.m. my time. That's Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everywhere. If you can't be here live, make sure you check us out on the podcast feed. Google, Apple, Spotify. That's where I listen. All you got to do is search Wake Up with Ray and Jay. You can catch us if you can't join us live, but if you can, make sure you engage with the good people in the chat. We have a good time every time talking all things NFL, college football, NFL draft. Jay Rich likes to talk MLB when that time comes, and we are getting a little closer to that. But more importantly, we got the people in the building, man. We got the people in the damn building. AFC champs. Shout out to the New England Patriots. NFC champs. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I don't know what to say, Jay Rich. We're going to talk about it, baby. But we got the people in the building. What's going down, Patrick? New Orleans in the house, man. He said it's 30 degrees down here. It's ice cold, Jay Rich. Literally ice cold. I had the kids out in the golf cart yesterday doing donuts in the middle of the street, man. We went sledding.
It's
Texas
fun, right?
style down here, baby. Hell yeah. Adam in the building. Honcho, Deontay in the building. Jorge from Rhode Island in the building. What's popping with you? Mix Khabib, Mick in the building. In burst, Patriots 20, Seahawks 17. We already got predictions, Jay. We're going to do that on Thursday. Who else we got in the building? We got Wyatt in here, Gabe in here. Yeah, we're going to do the predictions on Thursday. That's the last day of the show.
We got 2 weeks, right?
I know, but we'll do predictions on Thursday, the Thursday of the damn Super Bowl, man. See how you do, Jay? I'm going to put you on the screen. You always like to call me out on small discrepancies.
But when you tell people we're doing predictions on Thursday, they think we're going to do predictions this Thursday.
No,
and
they
it will
don't.
Be next
I mean,
Thursday.
For those of y'all who don't know, while Jay Rich is running his mouth, I create the show sheet, I produce the show, and I host the show. So sometimes stuff is a little confused. People know what I meant, Jay Rich. But go ahead, since you ruined the flow. How you doing today?
I'm good. Victory Tuesday. It's, I was about to say Victory Monday.
Exactly. That's what happened. That's karma on your ass because you were messing with me early. That's karma. You about to mess up the damn show. That's called karma.
There's nothing wrong with the show, Ray. The show is good to go. We'll get into both championship games. I'm sure you will find every chance to disparage Drake Maye's performance, but I am fine. I am happy. I'm only nervous that now we got to play Seattle, but a Super Bowl berth is extremely exciting for this football team. Defense is playing great. Offense, we will see 3 bad weather games. Hopefully, Santa Clara can deliver and give us some good weather so Drake Maye can put on a show in the Super Bowl. But I'm feeling good. How are you doing? How's the weather is the big question for me. Because it's cold, it's icy, it's snowy. We were not hit where I live with a big snowstorm, although Ria, where she lives like 30 minutes away from me, she got almost 2 feet of snow. And we only got like 6 inches, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, feeling good. It's cold as hell, but it's always cold as hell. So it's not too bad for me over here. But how are you doing? I saw you doing those donuts, having fun. Now, the thing is, you got to step up from the ATV. You got to get that in the truck. Once you start doing the donuts and the whips, then you're having a good time.
We ain't gonna do no donuts in the truck, man. We can't pull them shenanigans. I'm not trying to hit nobody, and I'm not trying to mess my truck up, Jay Rich. So we can't do that. But it's cool, man. It's iced in. We can't do nothing. So we're in the building. Kids out of school through tomorrow. So it is what it is, man. We didn't lose power. We got heat, so can't go anywhere for a couple of days. It's no big deal, man. But we do have a lot to talk about. AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game. We got to talk. Hey, listen, Jay, if you would have told me, or if I would have told you, doesn't matter how we got there, but if I would have told you all at the beginning of the season that this rookie quarterback would have been a Pro Bowl player, y'all would have thought I was crazy, Jay. The people would.
How is this our lead story?
I didn't do it, Jay. I'm sitting back and I'm watching the game. Your boy Shedeur Sanders is being added to the Pro Bowl games.
My boy Shedeur Sanders. Okay.
Listen, I'm not here to debate the merit. All I'm saying is,
really,
if I would have told you he would have even been an alternate at the beginning of the season, you would have said I was a madman. And look at where we are. Shedeur Sanders is being added to the Pro Bowl game roster to replace Drake Maye as they advance to the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts here, Jay Rich? What are your thoughts? We know the game. No one cares about it. No one's cared about the game for 10 years.
Of course.
What are your thoughts about him being added to the Pro Bowl roster representing the American Football Conference?
I really just want to know how many guys turned it down. Like, there's two stories here, or two outcomes in my opinion. They went straight to Sanders because they want to sell tickets. Great idea, NFL. People hate it. They're going to hate it. But you know what? Sanders is probably the biggest draw of backup quarterbacks you could ever have, you know. But then there's the side of, well, did they go to Cam Ward? You know, did they go to even Tua Tagovailoa is probably a more deserving Pro Bowl candidate than Shedeur Sanders. And then you have Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, all these guys who are definitely not going to go, have been before, or just don't want to go, right?
No, they're not going.
Did Cam Ward say no? Because Cam Ward, again, more deserving AFC candidate. But at some point, you're going to get to the Browns. At some point, enough people say no, you're going to get to the Browns, and you're going to ask Shedeur Sanders because he's the biggest draw by a mile. I just want to know what the process was. Did you even bother asking Burrow and Lamar and all these guys who probably already said no? Or did you just go straight to Sanders and say, hey, Shedeur, you want to do us this favor? Sell us some tickets to the Pro Bowl games and be able to... Look, I'm fine with it because I'm not going to watch, and I ultimately do not care. But I hope there wasn't a quarterback candidate that wanted to go who wasn't afforded the opportunity ahead, who would have been ahead of Shedeur Sanders. That's all I hope.
Listen, they called me. They said, Ray, we're thinking about doing this. Give us your opinion. I said, hey, the young man got very few practice reps in the offseason. What he was able to do to infuse some energy into that franchise, Jay Rich, sometimes you got to look beyond the stats. You got to look beyond You got to look beyond the box score. You got to look at the impact that a player brings to the game, the impact that they bring to a franchise, the impact that they bring to the product. It's hard to argue with the impact. Did you see Colorado's revenue numbers this year? It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue with dollars and cents, Jay. They asked me. I gave them my opinion. I'm not the one who put him in the seat, but it was some interesting news to see your boy Shedeur in the Pro Bowl this year as a rookie. Joins only Puka Nacua, the only rookies drafted, I think, in day 3 to make the Pro Bowl in year 1. It's rarefied air that we're sitting in right now, Jay. Yep. But we've got more news across the NFL, and we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Those Pittsburgh Steelers, Jay Rich, they have a brand new head coach in the building, Mike McCarthy, Jay. And I told you early in I think I called it early in the process, very early. I was like, Mike McCarthy's probably going to
sure.
You could tell by how stuff was trending, the NFL and, you know, them I don't want to say retread coaches, but kind of retread coaches. Yeah. Mike McCarthy is the new coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jay, how we feeling about that?
I mean, it's a lukewarm hire at best. You know, I was advocating for Chris Shula. I thought he would be the head coach. Obviously, Mike McCarthy was hired last week while the Rams were still playing football games. It does seem like the Steelers kind of made a rash decision to hire McCarthy. I'm not going to go as far to say as it was a bad decision, but when there was so many reports that Shula was very interested and there was kind of a mutual interest in hiring another young coach to lead the Steelers into the future, this is your, well, we don't really know who to hire, but Mike McCarthy is a good coach, and we'll see what he can do in the postseason. The problem is that Mike McCarthy has had Dak Prescott, and he's had Aaron Rodgers, and he's had Brett Favre. You're not going to have anybody even close to the stratosphere of those quarterbacks in Pittsburgh. We don't know what they're doing at quarterback. We don't expect Aaron Rodgers to be back, and we don't know if they even plan on drafting a quarterback. And if they don't do any of those things, they're looking at free agency, which, you know, there could be some players available, but it's not going to be anyone even close to the caliber that McCarthy is used to. So how is he going to turn that offense around? And then as well, how do they revamp this defense? I still think a defensive coach would have better served them with the situation that they're in. But now they have Mike McCarthy. Ray, what do you think about McCarthy, and kind of how do you think about his prospects to put together, you know, a 9-10 win season in his first year in Pittsburgh?
Jay, I'm over here. I'm looking on X, right, because I want to see what the people are saying about Mike McCarthy. And there are a lot of things out here where You got memes, Steelers fans jumping out the window. You got this one with Steelers going from Mike Tomlin to Mike McCarthy. You've got all this.
Did you see the one where someone said it's like shitting your pants and changing your shirt?
Oh, man.
I was like, it's actually true, though. It's like shitting your pants, but only changing your shirt.
Well, the shirt's got to get changed, too. You got to go full outfit change if you do that. But, yeah, you got to hit the pants. Yeah, I'm just scrolling down to see what people are saying about McCarthy. We've got stuff an hour ago. We got things from a couple of days ago. And as I work down just the simple Mike McCarthy query, look who pops up. OGQ down here from 2024.
Look at you.
Let me read what it says.
What did you
Jay
say?
Rich.
I can't read it. What did you say?
It says, Mike McCarthy shouldn't make it to the locker room. This is as embarrassing of a squad as I've ever seen. Sorry-ass team. Sorry. Dallas Cowboys. That was old Ray talking about Mike McCarthy back in 2024. Jay, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. This is what happens. The NFL tread coaches, retread coordinators. It's not a this year thing. It's an every year thing. And until teams start to take just a shot, right? You've got to take a shot on the first year guy. Somebody's going to have to take a shot on the Clay Kubiak, on the Nathan Shieldhouse, on the Chris Shulas, on the
Grant Udinski, all these
Udinski's, the passing game coordinators, you're going to have to take a shot in order to infuse some new blood into the league. But there's always going to be a place for these 60-year-olds who have done it before, that have 20 years of NFL experience. There's always going to be a spot for those guys. We'll see what Mike McCarthy can do. The problem that he had in Dallas was never the offense. The offense was pretty damn good. Now, you could say that's because he had fresh Zeke Elliott. He had a young Dak Prescott. He had all types of good weapons around him, but the offense was never the issue. It was honestly his coaching decisions, right? His clock management was always a mess in Dallas.
Yeah.
They could never win the big game. So we'll see how it plays out, but there's a lot that needs to be cleaned up and fixed in Pittsburgh, and you nailed it. Starting with the quarterback position, you don't have a QB, you don't have a shot in today's NFL. How is this going to work out, Jay? Would you be shocked if they were just kind of average 500 football squad?
Well, that's the hard part, right? This is a team that has been built around their defense. Does this mean they're going to then reinvest in the offense, which we kind of know they need to do? I think McCarthy can potentially turn around the offense, but the quarterback is, as you mentioned, a massive part of that. I would expect them to finish. I mean, the problem is that division's in turmoil right now. We don't know how good the Steelers are going to be. I wouldn't expect them to be very good. The Baltimore Ravens could be good, but they don't have a head coach yet. We know they have Lamar Jackson, hopefully healthy for all of next season. We know the Bengals will be a fine team. Can they be, a 12, 13-win team with that defense? Probably not. I'd say they're probably headed to be right around third. But, Ray, I think the bigger question is, would you be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers finished in last next season, knowing the Cleveland Browns are still part of that division? I would say that's very unlikely, but I wouldn't say I'd rule it out either, because that's how bad the situation could be in Pittsburgh if they don't figure out something at quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go so far as to say last in the division. The Browns still have a very, very tough uphill battle in Cleveland, right? They need a quarterback. They're looking for a head coach right now. I would still project the Browns to finish last in that division, but we'll see. I mean, Baltimore should be the favorite, but like you said, no head coach. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but you got two of those guys in that division with Burrow and Lamar.
Yep.
I never would I have thought that the model of stability inside the AFC North would reside in Cincinnati. That just with Zach Taylor and how the defensive struggles have been, they've got the most damn continuity in the division. Jay Rich, the Cincinnati Bengals, who have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, still waiting on the Baltimore hire. I think they're waiting on somebody from Seattle, though. Feels like they're waiting on is Kubiak potentially somebody that could come in? I don't know who Baltimore's talking about right now.
No. They brought in Jesse Minter.
They brought in Minter. They brought in Minter.
Look at me. Yeah.
They brought in Minter.
But they do need an OC, though.
He's not coming in to do OC.
But they do need an OC.
Yeah, he won't.
Well, Kubiak's not going to get hired to be OC.
All right. It says refresh. Something wrong with the stream, Jay?
People were saying the sound was having issues. You sounded fine to me, and
okay.
They just refreshed. Should be good.
All right,
but I did want to ask you though.
I just want to say if the stream is a a little laggy. Hit refresh, but it's recording smooth on our end. So we'll just post it after the fact every time if there's something wrong. Because I did see the viewership dropping, but it's climbing back up now. So hopefully a refresh will work. But just letting y'all know we saw it, and Mitch is saying it sounds perfect. I don't know why it does that shit. It's like you got to refresh at the start of the stream every show. But keep it rolling, Jay.
No, I was going to ask you do you think this is almost a bit of a cowardly hire by the Pittsburgh Steelers here? Just kind of going with that safe option. There's plenty of candidates available, guys that you could have for the long term. A lot of people are looking at McCarthy and saying, isn't this just going to be a short-term hire? Are you really going to find that next candidate, in a few seasons? What are your thoughts on that for the Steelers and kind of where they're positioned now as a franchise? Because it's uninspiring, sure, because it's Mike McCarthy, but it also just seems like a cowardly hire based off their past tradition as a franchise.
I mean, you see right here, they've only had 4 head coaches since 69. 4. Chuck Noll from 69 to 91, Bill Cowher from 92 to 06, Tomlin from 07 to 25. So this is their 4th head coach. But
they were all hired in their 30s, though.
Yeah, I get it. It just feels like a safe pick. I don't want to call it. It just feels like we went with the safest option. Somebody who knows how to head coach. Somebody who knows how to just keep it going and run an offense. Like, I'm not going to dog McCarthy out for his offense. The offense was never the issue in Dallas. His offensive ranks, I believe, were pretty damn good during his time in Dallas. But it was the in-game management, right? The thing that you need the head coach to do, manage the game in the game. He's only their 4th coach since 69. So how old is McCarthy? What is he, 60?
He's in his 60s, yeah. I think he's like 62, 63.
Okay, well, he doesn't look bad for 62, 63. He doesn't look like an old 62, 63. I didn't think he was that old. Go check his age. I don't think he's that old, Jay. I don't think he's that old. No. He's not 63. He's Mike
62.
McCarthy? 62? Wow.
Yeah, turning 63.
Well, let me tell you this. He ain't going to be there for 30 years or 20 years. 80, 90 years old. That's not going to happen, Jay. So we'll see. I don't think Pittsburgh fans are particularly happy with it. But let's keep the train pushing, because you did talk about Grant Udinski, the offensive coordinator in Jacksonville. Is that his title, or passing game coordinator?
He's the OC right now.
Well, when I say OC, I'm kind of using air quotes there because it's probably Liam Cohen that's running the show there. But this is a coordinator that a lot of teams, at least there seemed to be a lot of interest around him getting a head coaching job. And more of the common ties and connections to Udinski were the Cleveland Browns. But something happened, what was it, day before yesterday? He removed his name from the head coaching candidate pool in Cleveland. He said, no, thank you. I'm backing out of this opportunity. We appreciate the time, but I'm taking my interview talent somewhere else. So inform the Browns that he's removing himself from the head coach position. It says Udinski has a new deal in place with Jacksonville that will bump his pay for next season, but the Jags are allowing him to continue to pursue head coaching jobs. This would have been the youngest head coach in the NFL, and I believe in NFL history. And if he gets a head coaching job next year, he's probably going to be in the same running to be one of the youngest at only 30, 31 years old. But does this kind of feel like when Ben Johnson was getting the head coaching buzz 2 years ago, decided I'm going to run it back one more year with Detroit, wait for something a little better to open up? Like, what does this tell you about the Browns job where Mike McDaniel was rumored to be a favorite there? This guy was the odds-on betting favorite to be the next head coach of the Browns. Now he's pulled out. Mike McDaniel signed his deal to be offensive coordinator with the Los Angeles Chargers, official now. Does this speak more to Udinski saying, nah, I got some other opportunities, or is it I'm not feeling this opportunity in Cleveland?
I think it's a bit of both, for sure. You talk about how there's only 32 head coaching opportunities in the NFL. Cleveland is definitely pretty far down the list, even of available opportunities right now. I don't know if I would put it right at the bottom. But, yeah, I mean, if you're Udinski, you're a very young Well discussed OC in the league, have plenty of years to find that head coaching opportunity. I wouldn't quite go as far to say Ben Johnson because we know that he's not necessarily the architect of the offense and he's not calling plays quite yet. But definitely, if you're getting head coaching interviews at 30 years old, and you're being talked about the way that he's talked about, I mean, he is, I believe, the front runner right now for the Bills head coaching job, and it's one of the reasons why he pulled out of the Browns one. Now, I'm not sure if you saw Tom Pelissero's report about all the analytical stuff the Browns do in trying to find their head coaches. They ask them to write essays, they get them to do mental tests and all this stuff. Maybe he kind of opted out of that, knowing he was in the running for that Buffalo job. I think it was very similar with Mike McDaniel. I don't know if necessarily they don't want the job, but it's definitely not one of the more desirable jobs in the league right now. We know that Cleveland is a mess. They have a lot to figure out. No clue who their next head coach is going to be because Nate Schillhouse, he interviewed for them just yesterday, and then even we'll see if that kind of proceeds forward. But
the Bills have interviewed Brady, Schillhouse, and Udinski. They are doing thorough due diligence here in Buffalo. But yeah, he did interview for that job. Offensive coordinator Joe Brady. I saw some people in the chat saying Jesse Mintner wants Joe Brady as the OC in Baltimore. Buffalo, they are doing their due diligence. Also, 16 hours ago, after spending Monday morning interviewing for the Bills head coaching job, Broncos passing game quarter Davis Mills is in Las Vegas meeting about their head coaching job. So some of the big spots we still got open, the Raiders, the Bills, the Cardinals are still open. Who else do we have? Pittsburgh is occupied. Is it?
That's it. Yeah.
Is it just those three? Is it the Browns
so, yeah.
and the Browns? Bills, Browns,
and
Raiders,
the Browns still aren't Rooney Rule compliant as well. Schillhouse was one of the guys who helped, but they need another candidate to be Rooney Rule compliant as well. That's one of the other issues for the Browns is they still have to get over that hurdle. Right, to even hire a head coach, whoever it's going to end up being.
I saw Anthony Lynn is getting interview jobs.
There we go.
I'm sure him or Leslie Frazier.
Is Antonio Pierce still available for interviews?
They'll go get AP. They will get it done. Jay Rich, they will. As soon as you hear Leslie Frazier coming in to interview for the head coaching job, you know what that is all about, Jay Rich. It's fulfilling that rule. So. We're going to have a lot. There's still Raiders are meeting with, Davis Webb.
Webb getting a lot of interviews now.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about Denver here in a minute. I think that's it. You know, you and I were talking the other day. We kind of laughed at the decision when it happened with Detroit signing offensive coordinator Drew Petzing. We kind of, oh my God, why would they do that so early? Feels like a smart move by Detroit now in hindsight because one of the jobs that seems like nobody wants to take, Jay, is the offensive coordinator job in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's interviewed for it. They're bringing these candidates in. They have yet to hire an OC in Philly. And that ain't going to be Clint Kubiak. He ain't coming in to be the OC for Nick Sirianni. No. He'd stay right where he is or he's going to be a head coach somewhere. Why does nobody want to be the OC in Philadelphia? Adam, talk to us, man. Nobody wants to OC this Eagles offense. You got Hurts, you got Saquon, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I know Goddard's due for a new contract. Why does nobody want the OC job in Philadelphia, Jay?
I think part of it is just the pressure, right? This is a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. We know they have a great defense. I am curious, though, if there's conversations about, so what are you guys planning on doing with A.J. Brown? Is he supposed to be on the roster? Is he not? Because I think potentially if you're an OC candidate, that would maybe change how you feel about that job. You know that at least the coaching level, there's some instability there, some uncertainty over whether or not you're going to be an OC. Because, Ray, there's one thing, right? You do a good job, and the team kind of falters a little bit. Sirianni could be fired, and at that point, you could also be fired because a new head coach will probably bring in a new OC as a result. So, it just doesn't seem like the right opportunity for a very well-deserved candidate. Like Mike McDaniel obviously chose the Chargers. I would much prefer the Chargers job over the Eagles job. There's just too much going on in Philadelphia, a lot of uncertainty. I can get why a lot of candidates are pulling out, but it is surprising that nobody is even a front runner. There is nobody that is a front runner for this Eagles job, and it's going to be a relative, I'm not going to say no name, but it may end up being a no-name OC who gets this opportunity because no one seems to want this job.
That's crazy to me. I mean,
They got a great offense.
They were 2 years removed from and I'm not even some Eagles fan here, but they were 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. You have your quarterback in place. There are weapons offensively. You've got an outstanding defense. I mean, Jalen Carter, you tell me, defensively, I'm looking at the team, right? Because it's the OC. I'm like, what kind of defense do we have? What kind of offensive game plan do we have to put together? You got Jalen Carter. You've got Cooper DeJean. You've got Quinyon Mitchell. You've got Jordan. You've got studs. Now, I know they're going to have to figure out what to do with Davis in the contract. You've got Zach Bond. You've got players on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, yes, Dallas Goedert, probably gone, potentially gone, but you've got A.J. Brown under contract. You've got Smitty. You've got Hurts. You've got your running game. O-line needs some work. But what offensive line doesn't need some work in the NFL, Jay? Like, every offensive line needs some work. This one is it the quarterback? Is it Nick Sirianni? Is it I don't know. And then you've got an owner in Lurie and Roseman, the GM, and that they'll make moves. You tell me we need to make an upgrade here at the right guard position, we'll go do it. You tell me we need a primetime running back, we'll go figure out a way to go get that done. We've got capital. They've done a good job of drafting and manipulating picks. It just didn't work out this year. Seems like there's a lot of doom and gloom in Philadelphia that it just shouldn't be there. And you're right, the expectation is high, but I don't know why they don't have a front runner for this job right now. Maybe they're waiting on somebody in the Super Bowl to finish playing, and then they're going to get a look there. But kind of weird to see that playing out in Philly. Kind of weird seeing that play out in Philly. Any other coaching news, Jay, that has popped off over the last week since we've been on the show?
Not really, no. I mean, the Commanders hired a Vikings defensive backs coach to be their DC. Nothing really notable there. It's really just the Raiders conducting some more interviews now. I don't know if Shedeur is going to get an interview with the Raiders, but they obviously interviewed Davis Webb, and I believe they also interviewed Kurt Kubiak as well. Now that they're out of it, I think he's the OC of the 49ers right now.
I think he's the OC too.
So he's the other one that got an opportunity that, we thought maybe might get a chance. Head coaching probably a little bit early for him, but I wasn't surprised to see him get an opportunity. And then because I think he's actually on the Rams staff. I believe he's on the Rams staff. He was Sean McVay's OC, so he's getting some opportunities as well. We know Shula probably will take some head coaching interviews, but we haven't heard anything yet. Shillhouse taking interviews, but haven't seen anything from Shula. Maybe he's going to end up staying put with the Rams.
Jonathan Gannon, DC in Green Bay. So they
replacing
what's his name? I know, right? Boston College head coach. What's his damn name in Green Bay? The new Jeff Hafley. Jeff Hafley replacing Hafley. So Jonathan Gannon, both the Cardinals guys landed. That's just an interesting spot. There ain't no damn OC in Arizona.
Both got good landing spots.
There ain't no DC in Arizona right now. You don't know what's going on with the court. That you said it from the beginning. That would be the last job hired, and we are trending that way for Arizona.
That's Vance Joseph hiring. We're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear that today, right? Oof. Vance Joseph interviewing with the Arizona Cardinals finally with his in-person interview.
We do not need to hear that, Jay Rich. Let's not hear Vance Joseph. Okay, college football world. The only things that really sort of transpired over the past couple of days, you had a pair of Indiana kids, Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr., national champion wide receivers. They both declared for the NFL draft. The Senior Bowl is this week. This is the first time, Jay Rich, in 4 years that you and I did not attend the Senior Bowl. It has nothing to do with the ice. We can blame the snowstorm. We can blame the ice. But we had kind of planned to skip this year for a variety of reasons. The roster started to dwindle down here at the All-Star Game. A lot of people that we thought would be there are, in fact, not going to attend this year. And, overall, I just think All-Star Games are kind of dying out. The way that the college football season is extended, the way that a lot of these players, a lot of these players do their own private training. They hold their own private workouts. I don't know. It feels like the era of the All-Star Game is just slowly starting to die out in collegiate sports because it's not even really collegiate sports anymore. And that's a different story for a different day. But there will be some news that rolls out this week with some prospects coming out of Mobile. New Senior Bowl. Jim Nagy's is not running it anymore. But first time we haven't been there, Jay, and it's all right. We'll be back next year, right? We'll be back for 2027. Hopefully the crop of players is much better there. Okay, we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we are going to get into the AFC Championship game, talk about Jay Rich and his New England Patriots, who will be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. And then we got to talk about the NFC champion, Seattle Seahawks. What a story for Seattle from a variety of reasons, Jay Rich. None bigger than the quarterback position in Sam Darnold. So we got to give him some love. We got to show your New England Patriots some love. And then we'll talk about the teams that lost and what might happen with the Rams and the Denver Broncos moving forward. We appreciate y'all being in the building. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, comment in the chat, comment on the video, and we'll be right back after the break. What's poppin'? It's Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Tuesday, every Thursday, right here on the channel, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you cannot catch the show live, go to Apple, go to Spotify, search Wake Up with Ray and Jay. Boom. Subscribe there. Podcast feed. You can listen to it on the train, on the plane, wherever you're at. You can join us live. And if you catch us on the replay, show some love, hit that thumbs up. But Jay, there's some content that the people may have missed that we dropped on the channel. I did do a 2-round 2027 full mock draft. I did this, what was it, Sunday night after the NFC Championship game? Or which one was the second one? Yeah, the NFC Championship game. Went 2 rounds, talking through some positions, talking different type of draft, man. I wanted to stretch a little bit, right? We keep putting the same damn players in the same damn spots. Let's do something a little different. So we changed it up, 2-round mock. Check that on the channel. And then the very next day, Daniel Jeremiah dropped one, Jay, that was very different from the typical things that we've seen throughout the time early in these mocks. I will be dropping this review of his round 1 mock later today on the channel, so stay tuned for that, Jay. And also, it is prospect season, Mr. Richards. It is prospect season, so your boy is going deep, diving into the prospects. What'd y'all call it? Ray I? We got it popping, baby. We got it. The worst thing that happened to me over the past couple of days, Jay, is I was introduced to Claude Code. So your boy has been out here just hammering out different things. So we got a smooth process going on, and we are cranking out, or I'm cranking out, prospect profiles over here on Patreon, patreon.com/allgas. These are free prospect scouting profiles where I've gone through every rep for the players for the season, talking through Jordan Tyson. We've got Denzel Boston. We've got other stuff, Makai Lemon prospect profile on the site that you can check out right now. Carnell Tate is charted and live right now. So if you are interested and curious as to my thoughts on these players, their comps, their grade ranges, what they do well, strengths and weaknesses, I'm not looking at 2 games, Jay Rich. Some people out here, they look at 3 games and they say, I've scouted the player. I'm going through every target for these players, charting every rep, and we got a dope system in order to grade them. So go to patreon.com/allgas. Check out those free profiles, because pretty soon they're going to be paid profiles, Jay Rich. Right now they are free to the people to check out. But we've got to talk about your boys, the AFC champion, New England Patriots.
How's it sound, Ray?
Hey, it sounds very familiar. That's what it sounds like. It sounds quite familiar hearing New England back in a Super Bowl. It's crazy that some franchises just find ways to get it done. And that is the New England Patriots. They have yet found another way to get it done in probably one of the ugliest games in the playoffs I've seen. This was not an exciting game by any stretch of the imagination. Your Patriots were god-awful in the game, Jay, and had the Denver Broncos had any resemblance of a quarterback, they should have dog-walked New England. Drake Maye, outside of running around, he did nothing. 5 sacks. I continue to tell you, he takes a lot of bad sacks You get on Shedeur Sanders.
He doesn't take a lot of bad sacks.
It takes a lot of bad.
We've already had this conversation in our group chat, and Scott Connor confirmed that he takes the fewest yardage on sacks of all quarterbacks in the NFL.
That ain't the source of quarterback truth, Jay. I'm reading the conversation from everybody, not name people in our private group chat, and everybody's saying Drake Maye's got to get rid of the ball. He has got to get rid of the ball.
He is a second-year quarterback.
You don't got to jump to the defense here. I'm just stating the obvious. He took 5 sacks again in the game. I'm not dogging him out. I just said he takes a bunch of sacks. I didn't say nothing else about him. He threw for 86 yards. You want me to pump that up? You want me to what? This is the easiest path to a Super Bowl in NFL history. They've had to play nobody to get to this road.
They've played no good defenses the whole time, right? No good defenses.
Easiest path that I've ever seen. And there you are there. Congratulations. I hope he plays better, or else it's going to get real bad real fast for your New England Patriots. But congratulations for beating Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos. Congratulations, man.
I mean, what do you want me to say? The weather was terrible, man.
It was terrible in the fourth quarter.
What do you want Drake Maye to do? Everyone talks about how this offensive line is terrible. You say he gives up too many sacks. Well, the offensive line allows a lot of pressure. They have all season. That's not going to change. They don't have the best playmakers offensively. I mean, half the touchdowns he throws go to Hunter Henry. And Hunter Henry hasn't been relevant in years. Stephon Diggs does his thing out there. Mac Hollins made some key plays. There wasn't the Drake Maye signature moment in this game like there was in the Houston game when he threw a touchdown to Booty. They tried to hit that play a couple times. Surtain was all over it. He was not having it. But the biggest takeaway for people who aren't paying attention is the defense. The defense has only allowed 26 points the entire postseason. God. You can say they haven't played anybody, but they don't allow anything either. Drake Maye is going to play good once the weather is good. He still put up 28 on Houston, and he did fine against the Chargers. You can say what you want, but the biggest thing here is that thank God he didn't fumble. He's going against the #1 defense in the league that made Josh Allen fumble, 3 times in that game and made James Cook fumble. Drake Maye did not turn the ball over even once, and that is, for me, the biggest takeaway. Say what you want about the sacks. The key was ball security, and he handled his job, and he called his own number on the final play and won the Patriots the football game.
I mean, Jarrett Stidham threw it backwards to set them up at the 5-yard line.
Hey, you can say what you want about my quarterback's play, but is he doing that? No, because he is a better quarterback than that.
Well, no shit. You're probably a better quarterback than Jarrett Stidham.
Jeez.
I'm
see that bomb? Jeez.
Listen, I am congratulating New England for getting it done, but you cannot tell me that you are impressed, you feel good about this matchup. You'd be a lie. You're happy to be there, but you cannot tell me you are pleased with the way that this team is playing offensively right now.
The thing is, right?
And I know the weather was bad. I know the weather was bad. I know the weather was bad.
But it's not just this game. It's every single Patriots game has been the worst playoff game you've ever seen. Because against the Chargers, the weather wasn't good. And he had his moments in that game. He had his moments against Houston. He still takes a bunch of bad sacks. But the biggest thing, and Vrabel stressed it all week, was ball security. They did not turn the ball over. And they literally won the game because they didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah,
no one
it came down to one turnover. You're right. It came down to if Jarrett Stidham doesn't fumble, well, they missed.
Oh, it's not even close.
Well, they missed 2 kicks in the game, Denver.
One was blocked and one was missed. But again, you look at the conditions.
Yeah. I mean,
kickers were 1 for 5 in this game.
Yeah, you can't blame the kicker.
I mean, come on. It came down to that one fumble, and then the Broncos having to press, resulting in the Christian Gonzalez interception, which, Ray, oddly enough, reminded me a lot of Jared Goff's interception to Brandon Cooks in the Super Bowl, right? Where they blitzed the hell out of him in the red zone, and he threw it short, and they picked it off. Gilmore picked it off in the Super Bowl to win that game. But yeah, I mean, this is what the Patriots are. You know, people are asking, well, where's Travion Henderson? he is rightfully on the bench because he is not better than Ramondre. You know, I want them to do more offensively, and I think McDaniels he's called an extremely conservative offense the entire postseason. They've played within the structure of not making mistakes and running the ball a lot. Yeah. Right? They're not trying to put too much on Drake Maye's shoulders.
25
but I think
carries
in the
Ramondre.
Super Bowl, that will have to change, right? Seattle will put him under pressure. He will have to make plays. The key is, and it will be the same thing all week, it's do not turn the ball over and force Sam Darnold to his second, third read and to make mistakes, because that's going to be the way they win football games. It's going to be with defense. It's going to be with running the football very effectively. But I'm just excited to hopefully see them play in good weather, because really they have played in 3 god-awful game environments in a row, and the scores really do reflect that as a whole.
And Jay, and I hear you saying, he's taking 5 sacks in every game in the playoffs. Right? Like those.
But that's what happens every time he plays a competitive team, he takes a ton of sacks. Like he just does. He's under pressure a lot every game.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is 15 sacks in 3 games. That can't, something has to change, right? You got to get rid of the ball, man. Everybody was to get rid of the goddamn ball. Like get rid of it. Don't hold it. Don't take the sacks. And you're right. They did not turn the ball over. No turnovers for New England, which was the difference. Can we talk about Denver for a minute? Do you think Knicks would have made a difference? Do you? And it doesn't. Do you think Knicks would have made a difference?
If Knicks plays, it win that game probably 16 to 10. Because the biggest difference is Maye could run and Stidham couldn't. There was a couple plays where Stidham got loose, and then they were like, "Nah, we're not having this anymore."
Yeah.
If you got Bo Nix out there, he is probably a better athlete than Maye, but at worst, an equivalent athlete to Maye, and he would have been the difference. Passing, maybe he makes some more passing plays. It's hard to say. The weather was terrible the whole second half, but it's with Nix's legs that he is so valuable, and it's literally the reason why the Patriots won. Is because Maye was able to scramble, and Stidham wasn't able to get loose, and that really was the difference in the game.
Well, Jay, there are some Patriots Drake Maye takeaways from this one. He becomes the second youngest QB to reach a Super Bowl in NFL history. How old is Maye? 23, 24?
He's 23.
And this is Vrabel's what? First year or second year? Second year in New England?
First year.
I was thinking about this the other day. No one even mentions, was it Gerard Mayo?
Yeah.
It's like,
thank God
what happened to him?
Fired him. Yeah.
After 2 straight seasons of going 4-3, the Patriots with Kayshon Boutte, and look at who's on the cover of this thing. It's Diggs, it's Boutte. Is that Milton Williams there?
Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez,
and Gonzo. And then you've got Drake Maye in the middle. For all the shit that I'm giving Maye about the play, the easiest path, for a second-year quarterback to take this team to the Super Bowl after going 4-13 while not having Saquon Barkley or Puka Nacua or Trey McBride or Travis Kelce at tight end, this is truly a testament of coaching, team building. Yeah, the schedule was light. Like that is what it is. You may not, the schedule was light. The path, I don't want to say it was easy, because to win.
No, they've had breaks for sure.
Yeah, to win 20 games to get to a Super Bowl, I don't think that's easy, or 19, whatever it is, that's not an easy task.
And I think the only team to ever go 9-0 on the road in a season, too.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to New England. Real talk. Like, all BS aside, shout out to the Pats. They're back in there. Robert Kraft, he's getting older. Look at him, old Kraft getting older, but he gets to go back again. In his 32 seasons owning the Pats, the team has won a league-leading 11 conference championships, and he has done so with 3 different coach/quarterback combinations. There are still 4 NFL teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl. So, Mike Vrabel, first year in New England, taking his former team back to the dance. I'm not going to call this iteration of New England a dynasty, but the Patriots over the last, 25 years have been the premier team in the NFL. Just good stuff. New England fans are probably happy. We have a good time on the show, but real talk, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year, hey, New England's going to be in the Super Bowl, I'm like, hell no. A lot of people don't buy that. A lot of people would not agree with that one, Jay. But again, we will save the predictions for Thursday, next Thursday, not this Thursday. Let's talk about the NFC Championship game. What a game. What a game. The first one was rough, right? And the weather, especially towards the thing was that the weather started out cool. You're like, oh man, this is nice in Denver. It's, to be January, we're good. And then third quarter, it was just terrible. A whiteout, man. It was just a whiteout. But this one, we didn't have to deal with that. The 12s were out. It was loud. It was rocking. There were fireworks galore. This game started fast. You had 3 quarterbacks, Jay Rich, who combined for 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. You had 2 quarterbacks that combined for a grand total of only 4 sacks in the game. So, they were wheeling and dealing in this one. I tell you, Jay Rich, Puka Nacua is going to have 165 yards and a touchdown. You're probably like, damn. He had
200 last game and they still lost. So.
Coming in though, if I just told you coming in, Puka's gonna have 165 yards. Adams is gonna have 100. They're both gonna score a touchdown. You're like, man, and Matthew Stafford's not gonna get sacked once and turn the ball over 0 times. You'd be like, oh, they're gonna win the game. They got this in the bag, Jay. The JSN 153. Kenneth Walker was running hard on the ground. Sam Darnold, 346-3. I mean, this was fireworks from start to finish, man. Let's talk about the team that won the game, the team that's representing the NFC in the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks. What a job. First-year head coach Mike McDonald has done. Second year head coach Mike McDonald has done. What a job they've done in his second season. First-year quarterback in Sam Darnold. First-year Seattle quarterback in Sam Darnold. He's been able to do this in one season, Jay. In 1 year, he's been able to do this. Crazy, right?
Honestly, it's unbelievable what Sam Darnold has done. Last year, we said, oh, well, Minnesota's a great team, and Kevin O'Connell is a great head coach, great offensive mind, giving absolutely 0 credit to Darnold because he shit his pants in 2 games in back-to-back weeks. But what he's been able to do, now again, this system for him is not unfamiliar. It's the same system he was running in San Francisco when he was the backup quarterback to Brock Purdy just 2, or I guess probably 3 years ago now. But even still, to exercise the demons against the Rams, not once, but twice, granted the games were at home, that is exactly why you have to be happy for Sam Darnold. I don't know how you could watch this game and not be happy for Sam Darnold. He was the number 3 overall pick and absolutely just shit the bed for 4 years on the Jets, went to Carolina, played there a bit, struggled, was let go from there, ends up in San Francisco, Minnesota, where he got 14 wins and was still let go, to now playing for Seattle for a Super Bowl. Ridiculous story. Really happy for Darnold, but hope he loses the game.
I think you're underselling it, man. This was
maybe I am.
This was a quarterback who people legitimately, probably one of the most joked on quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
He really couldn't overcome the seeing ghosts comment that happened in New York. Second year in the NFL, maybe second, third year. I don't know when that happened. Carolina, San Francisco, Minnesota. Are we not forgetting another stop for Darnold? It feels like he was somewhere else.
I think that's it.
Is that it? This is his 5th team? So the Jets, the Panthers, the Niners, the Vikings, and now the Seattle. 5 different teams, and he's only been in the league, 7 years? He's only been in the NFL
since 2018,
Since 2018.
He's only 28 years old. What's his next contract?
I want to get to Would You Rather Sam Darnold edition. We haven't done this in a long time, Jay Rich. We have not done this in a long time, but NFL. Let's not, I know fantasy football, NFL. Jay Rich, I want to know how many quarterbacks over Sam Darnold you would take right now. Okay?
How many I would take?
How many?
I'm assuming this is in his present system.
Correct. Right here, where he's at right now, and where the other quarterbacks are. And I'm not going to go through the top names. I know you would take Allen and Maye and Lamar Jackson and Caleb Williams and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes I'm not doing any of that. Okay. Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy? Let's go just right inside the division. Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy?
I think the answer for me is Brock Purdy. I could see how some people may take Darnold, but like Darnold's team environment is much better than Purdy's. I think Purdy's still shown he can be a winner in the postseason. I would slightly take Brock Purdy over Sam Darnold.
Okay, you would take Purdy over Darnold. I want to see what the people say in the chat too. Comment in the chat box. Let's go one right here. Let's go from another playoff contending team. Sam Darnold or CJ Stroud?
Oh, I have to take Sam Darnold. You just say what you want about Sam Darnold and the turnovers and stuff. I believe he's the only quarterback since Eli Manning to lead the NFL in turnovers and still make the Super Bowl. But I will happily take Sam Darnold over CJ Stroud.
Wow, okay. All right, Sam Darnold over Stroud. Sam Darnold or his cohort classmate, Baker Mayfield?
Oof. I think at this point you have to take Sam Darnold.
I mean,
he's just shown you more than Baker has. Baker had one really good season, and this season he really wasn't a very good quarterback. They were obviously both in Carolina. They both went to California to resurrect their careers a little bit. But Darnold in back-to-back seasons has shown more than Baker Mayfield has pretty much throughout the entirety of his career.
Sam Darnold, just for context, 4,000 yards in the regular season, 25, which was fifth in the NFL, 25 touchdowns, did throw 14 interceptions, and really only had one true wide receiver all season in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who was incredible. But let's keep the train
Very low
rolling.
Pass rate, though, in Seattle.
These should be a little quicker. Sam Darnold or Michael Penix?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold or Bryce Young?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold or Jordan Love?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold or Trevor Lawrence?
You could tantalize me with that golden arm that he's got out there in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think I'll take Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, we got two more. We've got two more. Sam Darnold or Dak Prescott?
Ray, I think you should take Sam Darnold.
Stop it, Jay.
I think you should take Sam Darnold.
Stop.
I love Dak Prescott, but at some point we have to value winning. But at what point do we put a value on winning football games? Because Sam Darnold has won more football games than Dak Prescott has, and he's won more playoff games than Dak Prescott has.
Now he does play on a better team. He's won more than Herbert. He's won more than Justin Herbert too.
I agree. If you want to take Herbert over or Sam Darnold over Herbert, I'm fine with it.
Nobody will do that. Nobody will do that.
Dak is in the same breath as all the other quarterbacks that can't win. Herbert's in that bucket. And I love Dak. You know, I support Dak a lot. And I think Dak is a great quarterback. But at some point, he does have to win. And Darnold has shown us he can win some big games, even if they're at home. Dak's lost some big games at home.
Last one. This is the biggest one. The biggest one. Sam Darnold or Jalen Hurts? You talk about winning. No, sir. Don't do it. Because you just went on a 15-minute diatribe about you gotta win. Dak Prescott, you gotta win. He doesn't win. We got the Super Bowl MVP. We got a two-time representative in the Super Bowl. He just won MVP. They just won the Super Bowl, and here you go. You're about to do the shenanigans. Sam Darnold or Jalen Hurts?
But the problem is, before we started this conversation, I asked you, is it in the present offense? Because that is a big factor. If you're taking a quarterback in a neutral situation, my feelings would be a bit different. If you're telling me I get this system and I get this version of Sam Darnold versus a neutral system, I think this is an above average, if not great system.
You're doing
what do we got in Philadelphia? We got nothing in Philly. We got no OC. We got no hope. And Jalen Hurts just had probably the worst season of his career. Super Bowl was last season, right? We're on to 2026 now. There's coaches that are absolutely going to take Sam Darnold over Jalen Hurts, and I couldn't blame them. I will roll with Hurts for now, but I don't like it, and I don't feel good about it. But I will barely take Hurts for now because Sam Darnold is right there, man. Sam Darnold or Hurts is a very, very tough conversation because Darnold does look a lot better than Hurts. He's winning games for that team. Jalen Hurts, all he does is run around and pray the defense can save him.
But you did a lot of talking. So final answer, Sam Darnold or Jalen Hurts?
It's barely Hurts. Barely. This guy better step it up or he's down there with Bryce Young very soon. Very soon. I don't want to hear it because the Jalen Hurts has been terrible. Like, he has not been good.
He just won Super Bowl MVP and
I don't care. I do not care. Ray, if you are such a system-dependent quarterback that you can win Super Bowl MVP and dominate for an entire season and then suck the year after that, what does that say about Jalen Hurts? Darnold probably in the same breath. You put him on another team, another situation, he's probably not very good. But you're asking me in the present situation he's in. And Sam Darnold's been great.
Other side of the ball, Jay Rich, the Los Angeles Rams. Where do they go from here? Because they played like one of the best teams in the NFL for a large part of the season. Playoffs are condensed. Playoffs are tighter, right? It's the playoffs for a reason. So I'm not expecting, every team to go out there and dominate week in and week out. But this is a Rams team that's got an old quarterback and Matthew Stafford, older quarterback, 37 years old. They couldn't really get the run game going. Corum had a good game, but it was Kyren who was out there early. Adams is another year older. We'll see defensively. The defense needs some help. They need some defensive backs in the worst way. I know everybody's excited about drafting a receiver, pick 13 to Los Angeles. They better go defensive back. They need some corners. They need some safeties. They probably could use some linebackers. Defense needs some help. Where does this Rams team go from here? And when does Sean McVay start to get some of that Kyle Shanahan? Yeah, you're this wizard all this time. Then you get to the playoffs. I'm just saying he's lost one. He had this type of team. Like, you've got to capitalize with this squad, with the Adams, with the Pukas. You're about to have to pay Puka Nacua the most money ever dished out to a receiver in NFL. He will be the highest paid receiver in NFL history. You've got Stafford. Adams was asked about his future in Los Angeles, and his answer was like, I love this team. I would absolutely love to be back. I guess they got to figure out how to bring Adams back and figure all of that out. But where does this team go from here? I mean, they lost to Sam Darnold multiple times this year. The defense kind of fell apart at the end. They're probably going to lose some coordinators. Where do they go?
I think, as you mentioned, the biggest takeaway for me is, like, what is going to happen in their coaching room? They still have McVay. I mean, McVay went to the Super Bowl in his second season. He went to the Super Bowl and won, right, just 5 years ago. So, I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's won some big games, and he'll be more than fine. But I definitely am interested to see, what does that post-Stafford world look like, right? When do they address the quarterback position? Can they trade for somebody? Can they draft somebody? Thankfully for them, Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't had to play any games for them this year. But it's interesting to see where this had to go, because I think Adams is great, but, like, he also showed the reason why he can only do so much at this point in his career. Now, hopefully next year he could be healthier, maybe play a little bit better. But you look to what he did in the Jets last season versus this season in LA, he was banged up and hurt at the end of the season because he's older. He has a lot of miles in that body. And so we'll see where he ultimately ends up going into next year.
You see the comment in the chat?
No.
Oh, boy.
No.
What are your thoughts on this one? Kev said, Adams is going to Pittsburgh. And then he follows up, final dance with Rodgers and McCarthy.
I mean, that would be very fun. Like, that'd be a cool story, but is it going to work?
I could see it happening, Jay.
I can see it happening.
I can see it happening. Yeah. We talked about Rodgers not wanting to play again. He was going to be done, but now his boy McCarthy's back in the same building he was just in. Are they going to try to run it back with McCarthy and Adams? I mean, this isn't a Pittsburgh segment, but wow. that has got to be
Is Randall Cobb still retired, Ray?
They're gonna go
Is Allen Lazard still a free
they're
agent?
100% going to bring in Lazard. MVS is there.
He's already there?
You got MVS in the building. They just need to go sign Aaron Jones once Minnesota dumps him. But
the Rams are very interesting to see what they do. I think the coaching changes will matter a little bit for them, especially if they lose Shula. As bad as their defense was at stretches this season, like I do still think he's a great defensive coordinator, so replacing him will be a bit of a challenge. We know they have a great pass rush. Now, they haven't played so great the last couple games, but we know there's a lot of potential there, so we'll see how that develops. But yeah, I think the Rams have a bit of work to do. Whether they go with edge rusher, corner, wide receiver in the draft, I think all three of those positions could be an opportunity for them. I mean, Daniel Jeremiah had them taking Mekhi Lemon, which would be crazy, but it would also be a great fit for the offense. But I think, as you mentioned, the defense needs to be better because you can't compete with Seattle when your offense is playing as good as Seattle's offense. But the difference is the defense, and ultimately, in the case of the Rams, the special teams is really what did them in. That fumble right at the goal line led to points, and that was the difference in the football game. So it sucks that it wasn't a monumental mistake from the offense or Stafford or McVay really like making a crucial mistake. It was something auxiliary that still matters in football.
Yeah.
But isn't a big piece of the puzzle that we normally attribute to wins and losses when it comes to quarterback, coaching, execution, etc. One special teams play, what's the difference in this one?
The chat just listing every former Packer. We got Jamal Williams entered the chat.
Let's go.
Got Jamal.
Is Aaron
available.
Jones still doing things?
That's what I said. Aaron Jones will get cut. Jordy, and y'all should know the your boy comment now is completely I said Shedeur was Jay Rich's boy. That is just the running joke around here. Your boy. He said, I don't think Rodgers and McCarthy are in quotes boys. Nah, that's his boy, man. They're gonna run it back. Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know if you saw Adams' interview in the locker room. Very emotional after that one. Very emotional tears. Tough, man. A lot of those players, right, you put all that damn time in from June, July, then you make it all the way to January and you go home with nothing. There's no participation trophy. There's no ribbon. There's no consolation prize. You pick later in the draft and you got to go do it again with the same squad and try to get back with the expectations and the pressure surrounding these teams. Just your thoughts on the matchup. Seattle versus New England. We get a rematch of Super Bowl.
Oh, God.
What was yours? Was it 2012, 2013? We did this the other day.
I think it was 2014.
2014, the year before Cam Newton and the Panthers went. But we get a rematch of that game. And as we progress through the weeks, you know, the Super Bowl is all about narrative and storyline. I wonder how many times we're going to see the play, the Malcolm Butler interception. I wonder how many times that Marshawn Lynch will be interviewed. You've got Stephon Diggs and that storyline. How many times we're going to hear about Cardi B throughout the next couple of weeks. It's Sam Darnold, what he's done with the 2018 class. You know, the first QB from that class to make the Super Bowl, a class that had Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Sam Darnold, the castaway, is there. You know, Diggs in his first Super Bowl. You know, he said they wrote him off, said he was washed up, had 5 catches for 17 yards. Diggs was like, hey, they said I was washed. What did I do?
I showed them.
No, I showed you. That's
20%
what Diggs said.
market share right there.
It was bad weather, right? It was bad weather. And I'm looking at Schefter. No, that isn't breaking news. It's about Todd Monk. Jim Schwartz. If the Browns go Jim Schwartz, my goodness.
He is a leading candidate, right?
My God.
Yeah.
Whew, that would be a hire. That would be a hire.
That would be a hire.
That would be a hire for sure. All right, Jay, anything else we got? Let me go to the chat real quick.
I got a story for you if you want to touch on it.
Give me something,
College story.
Oh, we're going to college.
Duke quarterback Darian Mensah settles his NIL dispute and is expected to head to Miami to be the new quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes. Ray, I believe it was Tony, is in the transfer portal. Another receiver in the transfer portal. Maybe.
I don't know if he was really in the portal, but
it was reported. I saw it was reported, but maybe he's not.
I saw it too, but then his mom came out and said no.
I figured it was because they don't have a quarterback, but now it's expected they will have Darian Mensah to be their new quarterback after he settled his dispute with Duke, and I think it would firmly put Miami back in the potential championship ladder, right? Like that window is still firmly open for them. They have a quarterback. Big story in college football to get him over to Miami. It was a long discussed dispute, like supposed to be a $10 million thing that Miami was paying to get him over there to Miami. But big story because Duke ended up suing him as a result.
No, huge story. Huge story. For those that y'all don't know, Darian Mensah, former Tulane quarterback, transferred to Duke. Now he's going to Miami. He will be in the running and in the conversation for QB1 in the 2027 class, a class that will include Sam Levitt. You've got Dante Moore coming back. Now it's Darian Mensah. You've got, there's a litany of quarterbacks, right? There's 10 damn quarterbacks. Lenora Sellers is back. Arch Manning is in the class. Brennan Sorsby at Texas Tech. Jade Maava out of USC. The list goes on and on and on. There's not even joking. There's probably a list of 10 quarterbacks who could potentially be top 10, top 15 picks in the NFL draft. And now Miami gets one of the better quarterbacks in college football in Darian Mensah, a player who a lot of people thought could have been a first-round pick this year had he declared, but it didn't happen, and now he's going to Miami. So good, nice little story, nice little breaking news nugget right there, because that is news. And we still await Trinidad Chambliss, who...
Oh, yeah. Is he not settled the whole issue yet? It's not confirmed that it's like, it's over, bro. Go to the NFL?
Nah, he still wants to. He still wants to play in college. So I'm assuming Chambliss is going to do everything in his power to get back to Ole Miss for another year. He doesn't want that NFL smoke right now. He said Cam Moore 2.0, or is he more like A. Rich? I don't think Mensah's like A. Rich at all.
Either of them, really.
It's not like Ward or Anthony Richardson. He's just Darian Mensah. Any love for Deuce Knight? We'll see. He got the boot from damn Auburn for Barry Brown, so which I really do like him. Arch to Arizona, Manning to Harrison, version 2. That's what people are saying. Arch Manning to Arizona, and then you got Manning to Harrison, version 2, and a far worse version of the other Manning to Harrison. All right, Jay, hit the music, baby. Hit the music. That's the show for the day. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Wake up with Ray and Jay every Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the channel. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, subscribe if you are checking out the content here. Support the channel, help the channel grow. Check out all the other content here. Daniel Jeremiah mock draft review hitting the channel later today. And Jay Rich, the prospect profile videos, Makai Lemon. When's that dropping? Thursday,
hopefully.
Or when?
Should be Thursday. It probably won't be Wednesday. It'll probably be Thursday.
I gave you this on Saturday.
You did give it to me, but I did not get to it until yesterday. But it is cut, and it needs some color. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Makai Lemon will be live Wednesday night, Thursday morning once I finish it up. But it will be good. We're doing some fun stuff with it. Ray did a great job with the narrative, and I think you guys all will be very excited once it comes out. But thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Check out some of the shorts we dropped, some of the clips. Leave some comments. Let us know what you're looking forward to the next couple days. Maybe Thursday we can get into some Senior Bowl stuff. But until then, we are out. Peace.